welcome to Time with Terri, coming to you from the Space Coast of sunny Florida, where we have the beautiful Atlantic Ocean, lovely rivers, see rockets in the sky, and hear that tremendous sonic boom. I'm Terri, a retired medical professional who has worked with seniors my entire career. Now I'm at that stage in my life. In this outlet, Time with Terri, I would like to hear your ideas and share your concerns, because to me, this is not just a podcast. It is my mission as a senior advocate to connect you with an amazing network of resources, because in Brevard County, we care about our seniors. I would also like to support small businesses and local charitable organizations. So, now, my trivia question of the day is, how many storage units are in the United States? Hint, it's more than McDonald's and Starbucks combined. The answer at the end. Is or has your spare bedroom slowly being transformed into a storage unit? In your garage, are you parking your clutter? Are you parking your clutter instead of your car? Well, do I have the lady for you? It is my pleasure to introduce to you my good friend, Christina Knowles, who has Make Space Now. She's a professional organizer and a senior movement manager. So welcome to Time with Terri, Christina. Thanks. So nice to have you on the show.
It's great to be here, Terri. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Christina and I used to work together. We occasionally, I was a PT assistant, and you were an OT assistant, and you would work per diem sometimes. And every time you used to work, I was like, yay, Christina's here, because I always knew that you were a hard worker, and we worked well together, and you were very organized when you came in. You were very organized, and you have a heart for seniors. So I can vouch that you are a hard worker. So anyway, but
Thanks,
yeah,
Terri.
It's good to have you here. And I know, I remember you telling me about this. I know we saw each other from time to time, but that you had a business, that you were starting a business. And I thought, I was taking voiceover lessons at the time. And I thought, if I ever get a podcast, I really want to have her on my show. So I'm happy to have you on the show today.
Very happy to be here. And it was great working with you. I loved it.
Good.
It's always good when you have a good team player. Mm-hmm. And we always worked well together. It was always ran smoothly. So, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good. Well, what made you to decide from rehabbing people to rehabbing homes?
Very good. Yes. Well, I was feeling the burnout in 2020 during the pandemic, and I did some soul searching, and I've always wanted to have my own business, eventually become an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So I did some research on YouTube. I found a YouTuber, and I was like, oh, organizing is actually a thing. I've been doing this ever since I got out of the military. And nearly all of my jobs, I used to organize all the storage closets in all the rehab centers, and before that, organize various things in different jobs. And so in 2020, I decided to go ahead and open up my own company, Make Space Now. And I started working there professionally for the first couple years, part-time, just kind of tiered down from full-time work, and then went full-time in 2022. Mm-hmm. And in 2023, I decided to shift my focus and really hone in and niche with seniors, the senior population, because I miss them so much.
Yeah, you were always so good.
Aw,
you
thanks.
You are so good, and you were good and kind, and just always had their best interests at heart. So
yes, and that's really important with any senior supporting business. Right. You've got to really have the heart for it, and I definitely am in it for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. And so I got my certification through the National Association of Specialty and Senior Move Managers in 2023. So I became a certified senior move manager. And with that, that means that you have to, just like being a CODA or a PTA in the medical field, you have to get continuing education credits. So there's continuing education. There's, they have ethics and morals that you have to follow. And there's just certain guidelines that is required of you. Mm-hmm. And aside from that, there's this wonderful network of fellow NASM members throughout the country. And we meet quarterly in our region. And I always fortunately, I know some ladies and men here in Florida and who I can reach out to as well if I, don't know the answer to something or go over a project. And so I love it.
Good. And two, that helps you know what the latest trends are out there to help your clients, which is nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's all about the clients. It's all about getting them to the place that they need to be. So basically, what we do as senior move managers is just that. We guide families of seniors with all the logistics of downsizing. That can be physical, mental, spiritually. In other words, if they're having a difficult time, we guide them, we sit with them, we hear their stories, we help them declutter, help them decide on what they want to let go of, what they're going to keep, do the floor planning in their new home and unpack and resettle them in, get them unpacked and settle them in so that they can step forward into the next chapter of their lives confidently, successfully, and safely. And having that OT background, safety is a big thing for me.
Yeah. And I'll bet when you were little, your mom never had to tell you to clean up your room, did she?
Terri, yes, she did.
Oh, really?
Yes,
really?
she did.
So this organization wasn't from birth? It was.
It sure wasn't.
Okay.
No.
Okay, because I was like, I can imagine like as a child a neat little room, but no. Okay.
No.
So when did you transfer into like really being organized? Like that was like something that you were like, was important to you because, tell me about that.
The military.
Yeah.
Yes. When I joined the military in my early 20s, I joined a little bit later than most people do. But they get you down to the point where you enjoy organizing. I can remember I was stationed in California, and I can remember raking rocks.
Really?
Raking rocks and raking them so that the white shows because there was a general going to come and inspect.
Wow.
So, yes, I learned to enjoy it, truly. And it became therapeutic.
Yeah.
And it was an occupation. So it occupied your mind, it occupied your hands. So it really was like going through occupational therapy, which is,
a lot of functional things and
Exactly.
Yeah, because it does help with that.
Yep.
But just to be organized, I mean, it just makes you feel, kind of feel more at peace when things are organized and, they're in their place. Not that you have to be a perfectionist, but just that, you don't have a lot of clutter because they said that like women's stress levels are directly related to the amount of stuff in their home. So
Absolutely.
That's understandable because, when things are a mess, it's like you just say, oh my gosh, I need to work on this. But once you have it straightened out and cleaned up and organized, it's like that's so much better. Yeah.
Truly. In fact, I just came from a project this morning of unpacking a couple with a 13-month-old, and they had a leak in their house, and they had to move out quickly, so everything was pretty chaotic. It was an emergency move into a rental home. They didn't really have the time to choose where they wanted to live. They just had to get into another home. And in fact, she told me today, she's like, I am going psycho. I cannot live like this. I need things to be put away. Otherwise, I just go crazy. And she's like, it hurts my brain if I see the visual clutter. I was like, I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And, it's not for everybody. Some people enjoy having things out.
Yeah.
Everybody's different the way that they organize. But as long as a system is set up in place for that specific person, then it will work for them. It's like client-centered therapy.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, too, and like if you go into a garage, like I have seen the befores and afters with you, and it's amazing. But like, some people like go into a room and they see all, and they're like, oh my gosh, where do I start? And you're like, in your brain, in your head, you're like, okay, well, we're going to put this there and that there. And so you kind of have an organization in your mind to share with them to say, hey, this is how we can get this done. Don't freak out.
Exactly.
I know it seems like a lot, but you're here to, make it, peaceful, have a a nicely organized way of doing that. And then every day, just like I was thinking too in therapy, like when we had patients, like if we had stroke patients, I don't know. I mean, we do just because we're therapists to say we have patients who can't walk, can't move their arms and legs, and we're like, hey, you're going to get, we can see the end that, a lot of times they're going to get better, but it's little by little.
Right.
And then, because I would say people would get frustrated and I would say, hey, what can you do today that you couldn't do yesterday?
Right. It gets a little messy.
Yes.
First, the first couple steps, it's going to be messy before it gets better. And it's going to get messy. It's going to be painful before you get able to walk again or, use your hands above your arms, dress yourself, whatever it is, walk to the bathroom. Yeah. It's so true. So it's like you can see the possibilities through the mess. And then, it's like therapy. You create short-term goals and then long-term goals, and always with the end in sight.
Right.
A lot of times folks need a guiding hand, whether I'm working with busy professionals or seniors. They need that guiding hand to get them across the finish line.
Right. And not to be frustrated. And then as you're working with them too, they can see, oh, okay, well now that corner's open. I got the boxes out of this corner, and whether they donated it or whatever. Because do you have them categorize things like when they?
Sure. So a lot of the times, folks will like work alongside of me, and we'll create various bins. We'll do a donate, a toss. Or edit, save, keep, save, donate, toss. And the first thing is to really just categorize and just put things in big piles. They call that macro organizing. Yeah, don't worry about the little stuff yet. That'll come. A lot of people want things organized immediately. They just want it done. But it's a process, just like with many things in life.
Right. Yeah. So like, how do you let people know, like, when it's time to let go versus keeping it?
Well, that's on an individual basis. Okay. A lot of times when I'm with them, I'll have them just talk to me and kind of talk them through it, have them talk with me actually, and let me listen, because I don't make the decisions for them. They make the decisions. And depending upon who you're working with, you'll question it in the way that's geared towards their situation. For instance, I was working with a young mom today, unpacking and organizing her kitchen, and she had quite a few mismatched sets of china, but she had received them from relatives. And because I basically said, what would you like me to do with these? And she said, all I had to do is listen to her. And she said that, I'm not ready to let these go yet because of such and such, whatever reason it is. That's fine. No big deal. We just put it in another area in limbo, and later she'll make that decision. And she was very in tune with herself and realistic because she doesn't like clutter. So she was very intentional, which was nice to see. Yeah, because she was able to make that decision on her own. I always encourage people to make those decisions on their own. If they need some guidance, I'm happy to help because I can take the donations or help them with estate liquidation.
Well, that's nice that you respect, the fact that she was like, well, I'm not quite ready to let go of that. And you're like, okay, that's fine.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to meet the client where they're at.
Yeah. And so, like, what if they say, about letting go, but this is valuable. Like I have pound puppies. I bought these pound puppies, which you probably never heard of, but they were actually, it was like, and I'm like, they might be worth something. And I'm like, they're probably not worth anything. So I really need to check into that. And you have an app, you have something that you like to find out if things are valuable.
Sure. So you can look through Google Lens. Anybody can do it on their phone, and it's basically a camera. You point and shoot at an object, and it'll come up through Google of what that object is and what it's selling for on various websites. what it may be worth. So that's a great first step to see.
Okay, well, that's good. So anybody can do that then.
Absolutely.
Anybody can go. Okay, and what is that, Google? They go to Google Lens?
It's Google Lens.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. It's right in the browser, and it looks like a camera.
Okay.
And so, and beyond that, if something is truly valuable, then we'll figure a way to either for them to either keep it if they want to keep it, or if they want to sell it, I can refer them to like an estate liquidator.
Okay. Okay, good. Because like my pound puppies probably aren't worth anything. I have to check. I have to check on. I know, but
a lot of collectibles aren't.
I know. Darn.
Yeah.
I've had them for like 40 years. But anyway, there's a place that donate. I mean, it's good to know though about donating things, because we were talking about there's a cancer for children that I think we were talking about, about the donating toys to kids.
Yes,
the candlelight.
There's several. There's more than several organizations, nonprofit organizations that cater for children. There's donation dispersal. There's animals. Yeah. Women and men that are going through that were homeless and that are going through rehabilitative programs. So there's many throughout Brevard County. Brevard County is very active in that.
Good.
Yes.
Good. And then
and also there's places that just need it and they don't resell it and they give it to the homeless. So
yeah, I think that like as a baby boomer, a lot of us, like we didn't have much growing up, and it's like what we have, we're like. And then, like, sometimes families will say, well, just toss it. And I'm like, I don't want to just throw it away. I don't want to throw my pound puppies away. I don't want to throw them away, even though they're not worth to me. But to a kid, they would enjoy that. So if I knew that there was a place that I could donate that and some of my other things, then I would probably be more apt to give it away, because then I would know that there were some kids that would enjoy that. So, and then I would get that out of my closet, and, I could give that away and know that it brings joy to somebody else, and it would be valuable to them in that aspect. But clothing, I know too, there's a lot of organizations that for people that, like you said, are homeless. And I know New Life Mission, I'm not sure if they're taking clothes, but do you know some organizations that like people could donate clothes?
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could find out, because I know a lot of people have clothes, and one of the, I know a nurse that she said she used to, she was a business, administrator, and she has all these fancy clothes, and she's like, I need to give them away. So there are a lot of good nonprofits out there that could use those types of.
You can go on Google and look that up.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
They'll come up.
Good.
Yeah, they'll come up like a phone book.
Good. And having the adult children with the seniors, it's sometimes, I guess, they need to be a little bit more empathetic with their parents, because it's just like, oh, just give it away, throw it away. And it's, that a lot of things are very valuable to that person. It's been in their family for a long time. And so how do you deal with the, sometimes I'm sure there's a little static between the adult children and the seniors.
Sure. So, I think the best thing to do, if you can, with adult children and their parents, is to start having these conversations early and start talking about it
between the client and their children.
Correct.
Before that all gets started. Yes.
Exactly. That's an ideal situation. When a lot of times when the adult children are like, well, can't they just get rid of everything? That's when they're stressed out. A lot of times they're the sandwich generation. They're taking care of the parents and the young and their own children at home. And the senior, the parent, is stressed out as well. But it's always good to bring someone in like myself, or maybe even just another third person to talk about that, so that we can get that stress level down, kind of mediate things.
Right.
Because both parties are very stressed out. And
moving is stressful.
it
I know
is.
it's very stressful. And when you've had things in your family and that was your grandmothers or your your aunts, your uncles, and you've had it for a long time, it's hard to let go of that kind of stuff.
It sure is,
You
and
know.
it takes time to process. It really is it's a process, and a lot of times the parent, if they're planning on moving, okay, they're on board. Sometimes they just need somebody to listen to them and have them listen to their story about that object. And so oftentimes that helps. It's I don't recommend telling somebody just to throw it all away, because that's hard.
That's you can't do that. Yeah.
They do
You
it.
just-
They do it, but
Yeah.
it's
I mean, just to say throw it all away. You can't just like, although, some people do. Some people do probably just get a big dumpster and
they do.
throw it out.
They do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there's, a lot of hurt. So I always encourage people to get somebody in before that happens.
Yeah. Or is it like you said, if you can talk about those things before with the family, or do you want this, do you want this set? Do you want this china closet? Do you want this or that? And if they don't, that's okay. People don't want things that they've of their family members. They just don't want the china closet. They don't want the china. They don't want this or that. They just don't want it anymore. And even like Johnny's made a little ashtray or whatever it was. Johnny doesn't want that. So sometimes you just have to. I think you're hurt by that they don't want it. But they just don't. People have their own things, and that's just the way it is. So you have to decide what you're going to do with it. So yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So there's ways to go about that. You figure out where you're going to be living. You decide on which furniture you're going to be taking and what will fit. And if the furniture is not going to fit, or who knows, maybe you want some new furniture. Maybe you don't. I have another client who doesn't want to keep the family furniture that's been in the family for 70, 80, however many years it was. She's ready for a fresh new start, and she wants to stylize her new apartment, in a more modern style, not the older, antique looking. Yeah. So it all depends on the individual.
And I know, and that furniture is heavy too.
It
I had
sure
some old
is.
furniture, and it was beautiful though. I really hated to give it up. I hated because it was my grandfather's, and then my parents got it, and then they gave it to me, and like they reupholstered it, and I reupholstered it. But it's like, I downsized, and I had to let it go. So hopefully somebody is enjoying it. It was a comfortable couch, it was a comfortable chair, but what are you going to do?
Exactly, and that was meaningful for you to give it away.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. For some people, it gives them meaning to know that their stuff is going to go and help somebody else that needs it. Other people, they could care less.
Yeah. But whoever got it, they got a nice set. They got a nice couch and chair, a nice sturdy one. So hopefully somebody's enjoying it in their home.
Especially since it's been reupholstered. Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice. Yeah, that was reupholstered a couple of times, but I got a lot of pleasure out of that. I got a lot of joy out of that, and
Good.
what is like one thing that you can that seniors can do to feel more organized? To start like feeling a little bit more organized. Like if they, I don't know. One thing. Sorry, I'm just at this. One thing seniors can do to feel more organized. I mean, as a start. Oh, that was a question. I'm not real sure.
So like a tip for somebody who wants to declutter, possibly, or downsize, is to definitely start early. And then I'd recommend starting in an easy place. Okay. So it may not be easy for the person, but perhaps a junk drawer, something that can be accomplished, and stick with it. Try it for 20 minutes. Take a little break. Take a 5-minute break. Do another 20 minutes. Or you can even start just by grabbing a trash bag or a box and go around the house and start picking things up. Give yourself 10 to 15 minutes and start picking up trash. Trash or stuff that you know you definitely don't want and you want it to be trash. So that's a good starting point, because the more you start doing that, the more motivated you'll get. And if you've got a bunch of stuff, don't do the whole house, just do one room. So bag or box, trash first, and then start in an easy area like a just one drawer at a time. And you're just going to decide, do I really need to keep this? Do I want to keep it? Would I buy it again? There's a lot of questions you can ask yourself. And if you need help, if you're frozen and you're super overwhelmed, ask family, ask friends. And if beyond that, you need more help, then feel free to reach out to somebody like myself, because we'll help you. We'll help you create an action plan and get it done. Sometimes people just need another person there to ground them.
Yeah, and just to and just kind of motivate them to to do that. And then and little by little, it may seem like a little bit one day, but it adds up if you do a little bit every day. I know I keep telling myself, because I need to do that, and it's like every day if you just do a little bit. Then it's like, wow, at the end of the week, or just once a week, I'm like, Terri, just go through one box a week, because I downsized. And so I need to go through some of my stuff. And I'm like, okay, if I just do one box a week, that would be 52 boxes in a year. So I'm like, I don't have 52 boxes, thank God. But but even little by little. And then if you have for the bigger projects or even the small projects,
it is,
to have you help organize them. And
it's just get started. Just do it. Yeah. Just get started, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the thing. There's a lot of the perception is perfectionism. I've dealt with a lot of folks with that, and very conscientious people. So it's almost like they in one area they want permission to go ahead and let something go, and they want to make sure that they did the right thing.
That's nice.
Yeah. And so having somebody help guide them with that, it's good, because it really gets them moving on to the next thing and not overthinking what they're doing.
Good. Do you have any favorite organizing products that you recommend to people?
Well, my favorite's a Lazy Susan. The round thing.
Yeah.
Those are great in cornered pantries, cabinets, wonderful for oils and vinegars. It's just great. Spices. I have a smaller place. It's like a bungalow, so I've got...
Very organized, though.
Yes.
Very organized.
Got to be.
Yes. Very nice and clean. I know when I go to your house, it's like lovely. Yeah. Very organized and Yeah,
I enjoy that. So... to have the spices on a Lazy Susan, all you have to do is just turn it around. So that's definitely one. Gosh, there's a bunch of them.
Any types of baskets or anything?
Baskets are great.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot of baskets per se, but I also in my closet, I like the shoe organizers. Personally, for mine, like a hanging shoe organizer does well, because you can put T-shirts in there and shoes or shoes, something that breaks it up. And love to have the bins in the drawers, some bins, just to break things up. But the fun thing is that everybody's different and everybody has their own organizing style. So it's fun to figure out what that person's organizing style is and then tailor the system for them so that it's going to be sustainable. And that the most important thing is easy access. Can I pull it out and put it back easily and quickly? So that helps cut down on people's, daily routines, helps cut down on the time and helps them to be able to focus more on what matters.
So what is the worst advice you could give? That's an interesting question. The worst advice that you could give someone who's trying to...
Keep your stuff. Keep it.
Yeah, just keep it. Just build up. Yeah, build up the clutter, and it'll just make your day. Yeah.
Build it and. Yep.
Yeah, I think I saw. What did it say? Procrastination. Oh, yeah. Oh no, it said clutter. Procrastination is clutter's best friend. So,
Oh, it is.
yes.
Clutter is a
Uh-huh.
physical manifestation of delayed decisions.
Uh-huh.
In overall like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know I was looking up a whole bunch of different quotes last night. There were some really fun, interesting quotes about clutter.
There really are.
Yeah, I know. I emailed it to you. And
I got it.
they were so-
Yes.
I know.
And
they
I
were so
replied
cute.
back. I said, "Oh, these
Yeah.
are so good."
Uh-huh.
Yep. And there's some really good organizers out there that's fun to watch and to listen to.
Uh-huh. Do you
There's
on
always
TV?
resources available on YouTube. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, even I listen to it.
Yeah, because
absolutely.
you get ideas from other people. So
Yeah, sure.
we learn from each other. So
Yep.
that's a good thing.
And
So-
there's always somebody for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So describe what a successful transition looks like.
Okay. So a successful transition in a senior move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a successful transition would be that they are in their new home. They have just what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have to worry about cooking. Let's say that they're moving into like an independent living or an assisted living facility or even a 55 plus community. A successful transition would be that they just have everything that they need, and that person is enjoying their life. Like they're living their days doing what matters most to them, whether it's playing bunco or ping pong or billiards, or just hanging out in their home and watching TV, and that they're in there safely and they're content.
Yeah.
That what I love to hear from my clients that have moved is, thank you, we're happy now, and so that's really the end, is that you just want somebody to be happy, that they're stepping into that next chapter of their life, because they're facing the reality of it. Our development doesn't stop when we reach adulthood.
Right.
We have to go through those phases of life, and it's hard adulting, because a lot of us, myself included, still want to hold on to that younger self. And we could do a whole other session on that, but it's very fulfilling to help someone step into the next chapter.
I think too, like when they're in their new home. I mean, when you're used to having a big house and everything, but like you come to the realization that I need to downsize. This is getting to be too much for me, and you help them organize and make it a smooth process. And when they're in their new home, they're just like they look around and they're like, okay, this is my new home. I can breathe now.
Yep.
So and have really enjoy. I mean, not that they didn't enjoy their life before, but this next chapter, yes, I can really kind of chill out a little bit more and
Exactly.
relax.
Yes,
Thanks to Christina Knowles with Make Space Now. Yes, yeah, yeah. But
I had a client tell me, I said, what is the best thing? Because she moved into an independent living facility. We got her in there, and I asked her, I said, well, what's the best part now for you? She says, I don't have the morning anxieties anymore.
Nice.
Of what I'm going to do with my stuff. And that was golden right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. And it's like you don't just make space, you make peace with them. So that's
True.
really nice. Yeah. So it helps people just to be relaxed and enjoy the life.
Exactly.
Just have fun. I had seen something that said too, if it hasn't left the garage since the Reagan administration, it's probably not a necessity. I was like, that was a really, really long time ago.
Right?
and
40 some years ago.
yeah, at least.
That's
yeah,
so
that was in the
true.
80s. Yeah.
Yep.
I know, because I've had things in my garage. I had a garage sale. I went from a 3-bedroom to a 2-bedroom, and I'm just like, and people said to me, "Why do you have so many of one thing?" And I'm like, I don't know. That's a good question, because I think I had so much in my garage, I didn't even know what I had in there. So this other quote was, "You don't need 7 gravy boats and 4 fondue pots unless you're planning to open a retro restaurant."
So true.
How true. How very true.
Very true. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. And, that's a benefit of decluttering your home and being able to organize it, set up systems that you can see so you can shop first in your home rather than going to Costco again and buying more bulk and then discovering, oh, you had it all along.
Yeah, yeah. I know where my sister, if I would buy something that was always on clearance, though, I would get a lot of stuff that was on clearance. And then a couple times I'm like, well, maybe my sister can use this and maybe my mom can use it. So I would buy it for them, too. And then they were like, no, I don't need that. No, I don't want that. And I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah.
And then I stopped doing it after a while.
Well, you're a giving person.
Well,
so that's a form of something that you do. Is that you like to give. So
yes, I do, but they didn't want to take it. So,
right. Got rejected.
I had to stop doing that. I know. I was like, okay, I'm not spending this money. And this time, no. So
exactly. You can spend it on yourself.
Yeah. Because I had 4 garage sales. And I did pretty well with that. I did real well with that. But yeah, I know. I was just like, oh my gosh.
Good.
It was,
Did you enjoy the process?
Actually, it wasn't that bad. I don't think it was that bad. Like if I would do it like now, I probably would dread it. But I think I just needed to get rid of it. I just needed to get rid of my stuff. So, and then people were coming back because they knew, they were like, oh yeah, she has some really nice stuff. So I had a lot of return customers. Oh, which was they were like, yeah, we saw you're having another yard sale, and I was like, yeah. But my sister, my sister was helping me too. So that was nice that she was helping me. And my audience, I would love to hear, though, from my audience that I can't believe I still have this. Like when you look for stuff in your garage and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. So if you do have this, that I can't believe I still have this, my Gmail is timewithterryshow@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. So it would be kind of fun, just things when you were a kid and it's like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
Or lunch boxes, though. If people have like some of the lunch boxes, now that's valuable. Some of those are worth some money.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was great having you on. I really enjoyed having you on today and supporting your business. So if anybody is downsizing or wants to declutter, call Christina Knowles at Make Space Now.
Yep.
And so what would be the first step? What would be the first step if somebody wanted to hire you?
Sure. Well, you'd call me at 321-312-7959. And my website is makespacenow.com. And you can also Google my business profile. I've got before and after photos, reviews. And all they would need to do is just give me a call or text, however you want to reach me. You can even email me. And we schedule an in-home consultation for families that are downsizing and moving. Okay. For busy professionals, usually asking for, photos and then take an assessment after that. And then we formulate an action plan and move forward.
Great.
Yeah.
Good. Well, the trivia question was, how many storage units are in the United States? It's more than McDonald's and Starbucks combined. Would you happen to know that?
I did not.
I know. That's okay.
Category.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yes,
my sister said like 100,000, and I'm like, well,
like
you're halfway. It's like 52,952.
That's wild.
More than, I know. It's like more than McDonald's and Starbucks together.
Yes.
I was like, wow.
And it's like a 40 or $45 billion industry.
I know, it's big. I know
per year.
There are storage units everywhere. And then too, I was reading that like people that have 4-bedroom homes, they in a 2-car garage, they still have storage units. So I'm like, that is just amazing how we just buy stuff, keep stuff, and we just, you just have to let it go. My quote of the day from Katrina Mayer, Mayer, she's a writer, said, "Get rid of the clutter, and you may just get rid of the clutter, and you may just find it's blocking the door you've been looking for." So I thought, wow, that's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah, because
it's deep.
Yeah.
It's never just about the clutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting because I know it's like, you can't see the forest through the trees. It's like you just have so much there that you can't really see what you're looking for. But amazing. So anyway, well, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Terri.
Yeah, it was great. Just a reminder, Reach out to someone today and be a blessing, and you'll be blessed too.